What is up, YouTube? This is HeyhoBrando. Welcome back to Satisfactory. Now, as you can see, basically starting fresh. So basically what happened is I have a separate save file which I do for all my testing and all that, and I found a more efficient way for me to build up the factory right from the get-go. Now, I know people always say, too, from what I've been seeing online, is that, hey, that's the whole part of Satisfactory. You're going to dismantle your factory. You're going to start all over again. I kind of want to get something going on. And I do like the starting area where the iron, the copper, and the limestone is. So I want to make that, make that as efficient as possible before I go on. But we already seen at the end of the last episode, I got to the space elevator. So basically, just to get us all catch up, I'm going to get us all the way up to the point where I got the space elevator, but we're not going to end the episode until I can get the coal factory set up. Because this factory is going to look completely different from the last playstyle. So sit back and enjoy, and let's see how this goes. The one thing I do like about this game, especially when I'm doing everything weirdly, because I don't start the automation until I can get, all of the groundwork done. I don't know why, it's just me. I want to get the concrete down first before I put any of the automation down, so it makes it where I could put this on for hours, just me right here, but because I found a way that I'm on console, mind you, is that on PlayStation, when you're holding down the square button, if you hit the share button, it will keep on holding the square button. So when I get a lot of this stuff, I'll just do that, go get something to eat right quickly, or do some other things on my Switch while I'm just letting this go, just to get the whole bunch of stuff. But I'm just thinking to myself, I just think it's funny how I can do that. Finally having enough to actually start with the concrete, getting enough level ups onto it. My plan is, because of the fact of there's that giant rock in the middle of the place over there on our right, is that I want to get this started off here, because it may look like I'm doing the exact same thing as I did beforehand, but what I'm going to be doing different is once I get the miner down, I'm going to actually elevate it. So, that's why you're seeing what I'm doing here. I'm elevating the thing, so, eventually, when I do get the miner down there, I can use conveyors to bring everything up onto it, so it's above where the rock is. So, I get, a nice flat area, so I don't have to try to build around. That's mostly the biggest idea I had for this new one. So, really, I'm bringing everything up off the ground, so I can have a more easier, flat way to go about this. So once this goes down, I get the conveyor and bring it up as much as I can. Once I start figuring out what's the best way I can do this, what's the easier way of me fixing this up. Mostly to show what I mean is that everything's snapped onto the same grid. So I basically just put the foundations on so it covers the rock. I don't like this rock because it always was a pain in the ass for me. So basically where I'm at right now is the highest point for the main factory. As you can see, I have the miner over there going on, and what's going to happen is I'm going to make a little box area for it, and then bring a conveyor belt upward so that I can bring it up. So I'm just bringing everything over to here, and then eventually what will happen is that I'll get it all set up. Actually, you'll see it in a second. And how it will work is that I'll put this over here and make sure that that's connected properly, and then get over on this end right here, just zip it over, and then the conveyor will go up, and then everything will be over here. Eventually everything will be up onto this level anyway, so yeah. In the last video, I tried to make the biogenerators, and I did 8 biogenerators. This time I want to do at least 16, so I'm making a huge platform up here that will have 16 biogenerators, just so I can get the extra bit of power that I'm going to need later on, especially when the coal generators come. So basically just getting this all set up over here, because can't really start anything until I can get all that situated. So yeah, just working on getting all this going on, and once we get that, I think it goes up to at least 720 if I get all 16 biogenerators going. But yeah, no, we're eventually going to have power. I can get all my systems set up and have automatic fuel, because all I need to do then is just get my chainsaw and collect the wood, collect the grass, put them in the storage and just have them go on. Of course, I have to put a little bit of biofuel in a couple of them just to get them all set up. So yeah, I just wanted to show a little bit of an update going on here. And we moved everything over on this side by where the copper is going to be at. And actually now going to actually start working on the copper. Definitely need to get some of the copper stuff working on, you know, like the copper wire and the copper I can't think of the other one right now, but basically get that all started off. I made a nice little space over here for it. I haven't gone out to get any blue slugs. I know blue slugs are going to be great for when it comes to overclocking and all that, but I want to wait until I can get the Xeno sword, I think it's called, the Xeno sword, just so I can get some extra damage, because I don't trust myself, especially when I'm going out there. But once I get this copper thing done, it'll make things a little bit more easier to build up. Just showing the end results of how the copper is. The copper goes down, gets split into two smelters. One gets made into the copper ingots and then into the copper wire. Then the other one gets put into copper ingots, then copper wire, then one more down there into what it needs to be made for the last little bit. That's basically what I'm doing for a lot of things, like especially when I get the assemblers over there. That's why I wanted to be built on top of the rock, so I can actually get a lot more stuff onto it. Especially when I can get the blue slugs, I can do a lot of optimizations onto this. But for now, this is good for what I need, for what it needs to be going. We're still a long way of going to where we need the coal, but hey, we're getting close to there. We still don't have, as of right yet, the space elevator. I don't have that built up quite yet, but I will get it built up relatively soon. Finally getting back to the space elevator, finally getting this back up. And believe me, this took me quite a bit of hours. Like, at the end of this video, it took me about 14 hours to finally get to the end of what will be this. So, this was basically me just finally getting to the space elevator so I can keep going on. But, I mean, it's going to be quite a lot. And, I mean, the one thing I do like about this game is that I could just do other things along the line as I'm waiting for things to be done. Like, obviously I go off and I find power slugs, I do other little things here and there, but I mean, just doing all of this and then watching as like the space elevator comes down, and then after that just go around and keep on making the things. Like, I mean, the base is definitely going to look very messy when things are at the thing. Like, I need to figure out where certain things are, build it off, probably make it where I can get pure nodes and all that, move things over and start working onto it, because, like, you know, either get a truck system working out or just do lines up until then. But I mean, for now, base is coming along, we got the things on, and we just gotta keep on working to complete phase 1. Getting all the materials that I needed finally, after it took me, like, I want to say it took me a couple hours, and was able to finally get phase 1 started. It took me a little bit to remember that this one I actually had to bring it up to the space elevator, because I kept thinking to myself, like, where could I go? I thought I had to put it back in the MAM or the central hub, but I was like, oh, nope. Gotta take it to the space elevator, and then, you know, deal with this, finding out that this is working on the new platform and all that. But I mean, hey, it's moving onward, and I think after this helps me to get to the coal, which we need. And believe me, this is me going as full speed as I can to get coal up and running. But of course I have to get other things started off to get things working on. Like, I mean, I don't even have automated wiring, I don't have the frameworks done. I can only make really smart plating and a few other little things at this point. But with the coal, I can bring up the power of my base up quite heavily, because as of right now I believe it's only at 480 megawatts of power, and by the end theoretically I should have around 1600. But I mean, I still think this is cool, especially just watching the space elevator just charge up and then boom. And then you just see like the freaking clouds. I think the clouds part, yeah, that's just cool, just watching it being able to be built like that. Knowing that I'm going to need to start building off some of the more expensive things, I was able to get some of the iron over here and actually start working on building this area over here by where the space elevator is going to be. Everything is not going to be picture perfect. Like, I'm just building the things that need to be done just to get it, actually functional. Like, I do want to still make it somewhat clean, but at the same time, not really, because, I'm building on grass. Like, eventually I will just make proper platforms or even make proper walls once I get the awesome shop up. But basically, these iron over here, I have about, I believe at the time, 4 or 3. I have 4, yeah, 4. And I believe they're impure, so basically that will leave up to 120 going down, because that's a Mark II belt right down there. So basically 120 iron will go down pretty quickly and basically build all together to eventually make into routers. That's what all this is for. This is all just to make nothing but routers, and still takes too long to make routers. Finally was able to upgrade my Xeno Zapper to the big one. And oh boy, I love having this little thing. But later on, I actually get the rebar gun, and I love using that as well. But having this, it just makes me feel a little bit more safer, because obviously, we need to have that, and just waiting for time on this to put more things down. But eventually soon, we're going to be able to get the coal, and that's the main episode for this. After finally getting my rebar gun and finally also able to make the tractor, I finally made my way to where I knew a good coal section would be. Now, near this area, there are normally 4 coal things. I did make that plan on where I was going to use those, but then I realized that one of the coals was blocked by rocks, and the only way I can use that coal is by getting explosives, which I don't have. So basically, you'll see later on, I'm going to be making a big, long tunnel to a pure node that will give 120, but I'm underutilizing it because I'm not using the 120 belts onto it. Later on, when I get enough materials, I'll definitely just use that and bring it all much quicker to the coal factory. But for now, this is fine for what it will be. We're just getting started off. I'm just looking at my little notes at this point, trying to figure out how I'm going to build this, and then you'll see the end result of how the platform will look. Doing a little hop, stick, and jump, finally was able to get my water pumps ready. Now, I'll tell you this, I don't think I utilized the coal factory or the water pumps correctly, because as you can see, I got at least 6 pumps on each side that's going to be going towards 8 coal per side. Now, the way I have my platform set up is that I can push further on to add more coal onto it. Like, I understand I'm giving way too much water for the 16 coals that I basically have right now, or 8 on each side. So my plan is eventually that I can add more and more and more, or if I have to, I can underclock a couple if I really want to save on power. But really, I'm just more thinking of on the future if I need to add more coal or so like that, because then I can just push the coal onto the other side or on the other end and keep adding more and just keep adding the pipes on. But for what it's worth, it's working out for me. Like, I'm able to get it, but at this point I'm still just waiting on coal to fill up the thing, and that's all I really need to wait on. Getting the long treadmill to the other one, like the pure node, that was quite a long ways away. I actually had to leave my tractor there and build all of it, and eventually I will have to obviously put the power into it, but mostly just wanted to try to get as close to I possibly could, and then eventually start working on getting the coal set up. Now, before, I never got to here, or I showed it, and I was trying to figure out a way to get the pipes and the coal in properly, and I kept trying to zigzag it or collision it as I normally do, but I saw this video where basically you just bring everything over here, use splitters, pile the splitters on top of one another, and you can actually do it. I mean, I'll show you at the end result how it all looks, because I will be showing the end result of it. But I mean, it works, and it looks somewhat okay. It's just that some of my pipelines don't look straight. After making a secondary power source down here to get at least the coal generators and all that going, because this is still not connected to my main power grid, and knowing with how the pipe system works, and how I have the pipes going upward, I need to have at least the pumps going on to here. So I got the 2 pumps going on either end. We finally go over here to check out how things are going on. Everything is all connected properly, and we're just going over here to make sure that the coal is actually coming. It does actually come, but I also kind of forgot, I didn't notice until later on, that I forgot to connect that wire right there. So later on I do connect it. You can see it right there actually. I didn't connect it. So I was like trying to figure out, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Well, come to find out that's the reason why it wasn't working properly. But hey, we got it going. At least on one end, the coal is going in and starting off type of thing. At that point in the old thing, I actually broke the fuse because there's just too much power going on. But I just wanted to wait a bit to get this going on. But hey, we got the coal factory up and running and good to go. All of the pipes are going on, and I was just mostly going around just to make doubly sure, hey, everything is going accordingly to plan. All the water is going connected properly, and I'm just like, at this point, I don't even care how things look pretty wise, because like I said, this is taking me 14 hours. This is taking me at least 3 days of me recording things to try to get back to a proper thing, because of how episode 1 I deleted the one onto it. So this is just me checking, making sure all the water's coming in. I'm like, okay, water's slowly coming into here now, just to make sure. And as you can see, our power megawatts are actually going up, but it's still fluctuating. But yeah, I think that's going to be everything. The video's a little bit more longer than normal. Give you a little look-see at how the factory looks. As you can see, the pipes are a little crooked. Hopefully, I can actually fix that properly sooner or later. But yeah, no, just give you a last little look under here. At this point, the factory is connected, or the coal factory is connected to my main factory. But it's still fluctuating with power because not all the coal is going correctly to the places where it has to go right yet. But I'm happy to where everything is going at soon. Eventually I'll be able to delete the bio generators just to turn them off, but just wanted to make sure how things are going on, and just going up to see how things are going on. The first couple ones are actually always coming up with filling up with coal, and I'm just making sure how the other ones are doing. Basically, eventually what I start doing is just start grabbing the other coal and trying to put them in the other one, just to try to bump up production just a little bit. But no, I think I did pretty well. I mean, this is the first time I've actually built a coal factory, but I think from future reference I'll just let it all just keep going and just let it basically pile up on its own. Or if I just feel like I really want to try to bump up production, I'll just stand over to the corner and mine a bunch of coal and then put it in manually. But either way, thank you all so much for watching. If you liked this video, hit that like button and subscribe button to see more. Until next time, this has been HeyhoBrando. See you in the next video. Peace.